What's good, everybody? Testing 1 2. Yo, what's up, everybody? David Hem here. This is the Be Wealthy Podcast, and that's WELLTHY on your FM dial. So check it out. This is the first broadcast, and I'm loving it. I got the setup, I got the look, I got the headphones, I got the microphones, I got the microdose. Check it out. So anyway, today it's going to be about just me practicing tonality, practicing articulation, practicing proper grammar, golden grammars. So maybe not so much, you know what I mean? Maybe not so much, but always constantly trying to, get better at a lot of things. And speaking of getting better at a lot of things, I myself have gotten better at a lot of things, right? I've gotten better I quit smoking. This is my second and a half time that I've started to quit smoking. Weed and the nicotine and the cigarettes and stuff, right? The difference about this time is that there wasn't a lot of effort involved, So, and what I mean by that is that, the effort was giving up the effort. I'm talking about the path of least resistance, I knew when I started to feel like I wanted to quit, I wanted to try something different. Because I knew I wasn't going to quit on sheer will and determination alone. I knew that I had to quit by honoring the habit, not calling it a filthy one, not calling it a negative one, but just calling it something that didn't align with my purpose. And my purpose was to excel and to evolve and to become greater at things, Let me scratch that. Not greater, but just, getting better physically, mentally, which means discipline, being able to try to, just get better in my life, right? To find wellness, to be healthy, equaling wealthy. Hold on 1 second. So how I do it, I'll show you how I do it, right? I got to a point where I realized that the justification and the rationalization of it all just wasn't enough. I was just like, man, I'm the yoga punk rock yoga teacher, so let me just smoke. I can do what I want, man. I'm just gonna puff away and look how cool I feel. And it did. It made me feel really cool. The oral fixation of it all, having my black leather jacket, you know what I mean? The image, So I was like, yes, keep going. I allowed myself to continue to smoke. I allowed myself to continue to enjoy it while I had it. Because I knew that one day that I'll just wake up and stop. And lo and behold, I woke up and stopped. So now it might seem far-fetched, right? Because there's a lot of people out there just stuck in it and can't quit the smoking, right? Because, what do we use to smoke for? To relieve stress, right? That's what I did. I used smoking as a way of relieving stress. And if you know what I'm talking about when you smoked, right? But then, and I also, it's funny. This is the funny part. I justified the smoking as a way of training myself, right? So I would smoke, my breath would be short, my breath would be compromised. I would bike, I would work out, and train myself to calm my breathing down, to calm my body down. Because, when you work out, you start to get exerted, and and it was way more difficult with the smoking. And then so my way of thinking was training myself to condition myself at such a high altitude with the smoke to make it much easier when I did quit the smoke, right? Because this was an experiment for me as well. So that's how I learned to experiment with things while I'm in the habits, right? Because if I'm going to be in it, I might as well start to learn and attain knowledge from it somehow. Use myself, in my own experiments. And this is how I did it with the Adderall. And we could talk about that on another podcast, right? So, and so every cigarette I smoked, a la Louise Hay, she was saying, like, even if you're starting to smoke, honor the cigarette, honor that it's there, and then let it go. The point is to not be like, oh, I'm a fucking piece of shit. Why do I keep smoking these cigarettes, these things? It's got a hold of me. No. That's the wrong approach. That's the wrong approach. At least for me. Remember, these are just my experience, and my experience may differ from yours depending on the degree of commitment and how long you've been into these habits. So I allowed myself to smoke them, and then it was like there was no suppression, right? And this is a huge piece into my personal development practice. The suppression is what make these things have more life. It's like the news. It's like all the negative stuff out there. You give it the attention, right? And right, if you don't give it the attention, it'll go away. It'll go away. It's like that Simpsons episode, the Treehouse of Horrors. I forget which one it was, and it was like, just don't look, right? And these huge advertising ads that were running rampant and killing everybody, they just died because nobody was paying attention to the marketing. And I thought that was profound, and that's what helped me get to this place. It's like, you don't give the negative stuff attention, So anyway, allowing myself to have these indulgences kind of is like give the baby the bottle. All right, if that's what you want, here, just take it. And then not too long after that, you're not going to want it anymore. Because a part of me, the rebellious me, wanted that whole thing. I wanted to feel like I was going against, I was going against authority, right? You don't smoke as a yoga teacher, right? You don't do these things, and I know that about me. I know I'm pretty conspiratorial. I know I love to rebel against things, which has a place, don't get me wrong. But I knew this about me, and then so I allowed myself to have it, right? Uh-oh. Eep. 1 second. Hold on. Eee. All right. Readjust my zoomy. My gimbal. All right, cool. Oh. One second, guys. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yes. So I allowed myself to have these things, right? And this is like the emotions. We get angry, we get sad, and we feel like I can't have these feelings, so we shove it down, and then we have the emotional outbreak, and we fuck things up, right? So, this is a huge lesson for me, because not only did I allow myself to have these things that I think my body wants, all right, let me get this back on the right track. Autofocus, please. Auto parts. Yeah, so we'll try this angle right here. So not only did I allow myself to have these indulgences, but I didn't want them anymore after I got them, and I think that's huge because we think we want these things because they're forbidden, right? And then when you find out yeah, it's not really, the essence, the happiness comes from the pursuit of things. Because once we get things, shit becomes, you don't want it. It's then what, right? It's like, oh, I wish I had the wife, I wish I had the husband and all this stuff, and then you get it, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm still feeling a little bit empty inside. Um, so yeah, this is about allowing yourself to feel, allowing yourself those indulgences. Um, but you also got to implement a practice of, uh, you know, restraint. Because this practice can be not, for everybody. You may know that, yeah, I'm not gonna, like, I know I'm not gonna fucking go out and, like, yeah, let me just get one bag of dope, let me get one hit of crack, and everything will be fine. That's not how it works. Because I knew I can get to these places because I practiced it in really small doses, right? I practiced it in having chips. I practiced it in having a Snickers bar and ice cream and stuff. I knew, all I needed was a little, in small doses. I think when we suppress our kids, right, and we suppress them in a way, say, don't do this and don't do that, they do it even more because we're the authority figure. And in order for us to have an identity, our own identity, we must rise against the authority. So just let yourself have it, man. Let yourself have him. Again, these are just my views on things. These might not work for you. But I know how it worked for me. I allowed myself to have all the cigarettes I wanted. And I wasn't like doing packs a day and all that stuff because my practice got in the way. My self-love and self-respect started to get in the way. And I knew what I needed to do to become a better teacher because it's in these very obstacles that we have which within them has the keys to our freedom. You know what I'm saying? So check it out, man. Stay healthy, stay well, be wealthy, WELLTHY. Yo, this is just my spiritual twist to the spiritual cap. So check it out. This is episode 1. Got more coming to you. Stay it up. Stay it leopard.